Hello everyone. I haven't done a video in a while, and I thought I'd do a video on something that's been in the news lately, and that's on the 62 grain Penetrator round, a 223 5.56 caliber bullet that's most commonly used in the AR-15 platform of weapons. They want to ban these particular bullets because they say that they will defeat body armor, soft body armor. And the problem I have with this whole reasoning behind this is that basically when it comes to soft body armor, and I'm not talking the plated armor, I'm talking soft body armor, which a majority of law enforcement wears, any rifle round will defeat that. Their argument to me doesn't hold a lot of water, and the other reason is now they say that there's a lot of handguns that are capable of shooting the 223 round, which basically there's a couple handguns out there, piston driven. Rock River makes one, Caltech makes one, but the majority of AR-15 pistols out there still use a buffer tube, and it's not something you commonly seen used like the typical urban shooting scene where you're going to encounter a gunman if you're law enforcement. Most of those are still being shot with just regular handguns, 9mm, 40s, and such. But they try to say that this particular round, because it's deemed a steel core penetrator round, will defeat this body armor is kind of a myth to me. The reason being that here's your standard 55 grain full metal jacket 223 round. This is your 62 grain steel core penetrator round that they're trying to ban. This is what they look like outside of the casing. You can see the 62 grain is a little bit longer, but that's just because it's got a heavier weight to it. Now, in all honesty, to be honest with you, okay, the military used to use these. They kind of backed off from these, from my understanding, and I'm no expert by any means, but from what I understand, they used the, I'll grab another one, they used the 62 grain for a while, and they started discovering that when people were being shot with this, it wasn't doing any soft tissue damage because it would go clean through and through. It wasn't doing anything other than that, just poking holes. Whereas this round here, when this enters your body, this one can do a lot of crazy things to you because the bullet is designed, once it impacts you, to tumble. It can fragment, break apart, open up different wound channels. So this is pretty much what the common round used is, because of the amount of soft tissue damage that this particular round will do. Whereas this one, the Penetrator, it just won't do it. It goes through you so cleanly that it just leaves a hole. Me personally, if I was going to get shot with either one of these rounds, I'd prefer to get shot with 62 grain. This one, I had an uncle in Vietnam, and he told me some of the stories of what the 55 grains were doing to people, and it's just horrendous amounts of damage that this particular bullet can do to you. But this one here actually is probably less lethal than the 55 grain, from my understanding, from what I've read and what I understand about it. So I don't understand what their argument is. I mean, even if, say, you were going to use an AR-15 platform pistol, either one of these bullets will penetrate soft body armor. It's that simple. Any rifle round is going to penetrate soft body armor. You have to go up to the plating to avoid what a rifle round will penetrate. So their argument to me doesn't really hold water. I can't understand why they're going after this particular bullet. And to me, it's almost like a first step. If we can outlaw this one because of what they say it can do, how long down the road before we say, well, the 55 grain, we need to outlaw that one too? And then it just progressively gets worse to where then what are they going to want to do next? Outlaw all rifle ammo? Because I don't understand why. And to be honest with you, I use these rounds just for plinking, basically, because they're so cheap. I mean, I doubt if they're cheap now, but when I was buying them, they were reasonably cheap. I bought a whole bunch of these bullets, and I just use them for plinking. That's about it. I don't do anything else with them. Yeah, I've taken them out, and I've taken some steel plating out, and yeah, they'll penetrate steel plating effectively. They'll go right through it, up to a 1/4 inch. But for their argument, in order for it to hold water, it just doesn't make sense to me why this one they're trying to say is more lethal than this one. Especially when they're taking into account what the majority of law enforcement in this country wear, which is the soft body armor. Either one of these rounds is going to go through that. Soft body armor up to level 3 is not going to stop either one of these rounds. And any rifle round for that matter. Handgun, yes. Soft body armor is effective against handgun rounds. It doesn't matter what you're shooting this out of. rifle, handgun, either round is going to penetrate. So I'm just trying to make sense of it, why they're going after this. And I know they say it's because, well, when this law was enacted, and I believe it was 1980 or 68 or something, why this bullet was exempted is because there wasn't no pistols that fired it. And through the progression of time, we've gotten to a point where now there are platform weapons that can fire the 2.23 or 5.56 round. So I don't understand what the argument is. It doesn't make sense what their reasoning is, but I'm just trying to explain that the main purpose of this video is this round is probably less lethal than this round to get shot with. I mean, if that's how they're breaking this argument down, and that's how we're going to look at it, is which round's more lethal, I'm going to say from my personal research, just the regular 55 grain full metal jacket is actually more dangerous than the steel core. And this isn't, I don't really think you could compare this to, say, a 30 caliber steel core from, say, what they used in World War II or Vietnam or Korea. Those actually had a hardened steel core. The steel cores, from my understanding, it's a very soft steel. It's not nowhere near what normal AP ammo would be that the 30 cals used. But that's their argument. That's what they're basing this on, is to protect law enforcement, when in reality they're both going to be effective against soft body armor. Plated armor is a different story. I mean, plated armor will stop this. It will stop this also. But it just doesn't make sense to me why, after all these years, now they're trying to outlaw this bullet, when to me I can't see where it's any more lethal than this bullet. And like I said, to me it's almost like a first step in going after our ammo, because to be honest, a gun is just a club if you don't have ammo for it. I mean, a gun is useless without ammunition. And if now they slowly start outlawing this, then slowly they can go after other ammo. And this is why you need to write your senators, your state representatives, to tell them that you are against this. Because to me, this is just a first step in getting rid of ammo on the market that people use every day, to the point where you can't have ammo for your guns anymore, and then your gun's useless. So then you have an ineffective weapon. So I just wanted to do a quick video here to show you what I think about this, and from my experience with these rounds, I don't think anyone's more, as far as penetrating, they're both going to penetrate the body armor. This one is just going to go clean through you. This one can tumble, fragment, do incredible amounts of internal damage once it gets in you. This one basically just goes clean through and through. So to me, it just doesn't make sense why they're trying to do this, unless it is, like I said, just a first step in trying to outlaw ammo. But the main purpose of this is, if you see this video, yeah, contact your senators, state representatives, and tell them you're against this ban. Because this ban, to me, makes absolutely no sense. I just don't understand why they're going after this one particular round when it's no more lethal than this round. Probably less so. So that's the purpose of this video. Just, if you're serious about your gun rights and you want to be able to maintain those gun rights, you may want to get on top of this one, because to me this could be the first step in going after ammo, which they have been ineffective at going after the guns up to this point, so why not take the next step, go after the ammo. So I hope this is informative anyone out there who's been paying any attention to this, but just take those steps. Call your representatives and tell them what you think, and put enough pressure on them to where they will squash this. Because this is ridiculous in my opinion. This makes no sense. As a firearm enthusiast and someone who does a lot of shooting, this makes absolutely no sense to me. So, thank you.